Jess, what's poppin'? How are you?
Ah, I'm great. How are you?
I am so good. What's happening in your world? Tell me all the things that's going on.
Well, this is a perfect time to have this interview. I literally just got back from the VMAs yesterday.
Mm.
That was literally so fun. It was crazy. It was, I've never been to like a red carpet event like that before. So that
Mhm.
was really, really special. We had incredible seats, incredible performances. Nicki Minaj slayed, obviously, and Taylor Swift was like literally dead right center, right in front of me. It was amazing.
And then you got the exclusive. Well, I'm sure everybody got the exclusive at the same time, but like she was releasing the album October 21st. Everybody went crazy
Mhm.
online, but you were in there in person watching
Yeah,
her say that.
yeah, it was pretty unbelievable. I mean, like I recently became like a Taylor Swift fan. Like I listened to her like when I was a kid, like when she was
Mhm.
in her like when she was just getting huge, like when she was singing Picture to Burn and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
but now I'm like really starting to like vibe more with her lyrics and her music. And so it's gonna be pretty exciting. And isn't there also like Harry Styles doing something on this exact same day? Like
I
isn't
think
it
so. I heard the
that's
same thing.
that's gonna be drama. But like it's gonna be good. Lots of
Listen,
publicity.
absolutely. What's interesting, okay, so for someone that's never been to the VMAs like me, tell us your journey to get there. And you were in my home state, the Prudential Center. Shout out to everybody in Newark, New Jersey. I
Yes.
grew up in the town over from that in Elizabeth. So how did you wind up at the VMAs?
Yeah, great question. So I actually was invited through a brand, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I believe was like one of the sponsors. So they
Mhm.
said, "Hey, like we would love to invite you. We would love for you to like make a video, make some promotional things." Like they hired a stylist for me. They hired a whole team to help me get ready. So I was there representing the brand, which was really, really exciting. We spent like the whole like 2 days beforehand getting ready, picking out what I'm wearing, filming content. It was so cool. Literally, I've never done anything like that before. so being able to get the opportunity was obviously like I'm taking it. I'm running with it. That's amazing. And my sister came with me too. So it was like very special. Um, and then once we got to the VMAs, it was crazy because we got to the red carpet and it
Mhm.
works like a machine. Like there are producers who are like, okay, everyone, one at a time, single file, like a fire drill. And
Mhm.
they're like,
Mhm.
stand on the spot, take your picture. Next, stand on the next spot, take your picture. Next, like it was wild. It literally, I feel like I blacked out. Like it lasted probably like maybe 15 minutes total, and then like we were done. Then we had to go into the venue and like start watching the show.
Jess, were you overwhelmed?
And yes, I literally felt like I was getting yelled at by like my family members at like a
Mhm.
Christmas dinner, and they're like, Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. Like it was because it was all these photographers, and then all of these like producers yelling at me to move and stuff like that. But you know what? I tried to stay as calm, cool, and collected as I possibly could. And after seeing the pictures and the footage that was taken of me, I was really surprised that I looked as calm, cool, and collected as I did because inside I was dying. But it
You?
was so crazy, amazing.
Well, you did mention earlier that you blacked out. I hope you had an opportunity to really take in everything and enjoy, what you were going through.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, it was so many emotions in one experience. I mean, it was because, like I said, I've never done anything like that before, and I was really nervous. I
Uh-huh.
was oh sorry. I was really really nervous because like I didn't know what people were gonna think of me, how people thought I was gonna look, how I was
Right.
gonna act, But it turned out to be such a positive and great experience. I met so many people. Everyone was so nice. I was able to take it in like for myself. So I'll never be able. There's no way I'll possibly ever forget that night. It was great.
Absolutely. That just seems like it was a great time. How did you get started in creating content?
Yeah. Well, So a little bit about me. I grew up doing musical theater,
Uh,
and I've done it professionally since high school. And then I went to college and majored in musical theater at Penn State University. And so whenever it was my senior year of college in 2020, the pandemic hit. So that's, I wasn't able to like move to New York City, have
mhm.
a career in theater. I wasn't able to do any of that because obviously of the lockdown. So my only creative outlet was through TikTok, which was like, I thought it was like, because I was 22 whenever I downloaded it, and I felt like it was like an app for like
Teenagers.
teenagers like who were
Yeah, yeah.
dancing and stuff. I was like, I don't do that dancing stuff. Like that's not me. And my and that, no judgment to those who do it. I think it's great. It's just like I just don't look good doing that stuff. So my friends were like, no, Jessica, like you can make like skits, like funny little skits on there. Like people do other types of things. And I was like, okay, then you know what? Like let's try it. Let's see what happens. So I started just making skits in my childhood bedroom. And then after about like 6 months of being on the app, I gained about 1 million followers, which was insane. And I was like, wow, like crazy, crazy. And then it wasn't until like last summer where it started to
A
become like a full
million
job.
followers. Wait, okay, let's just like luxuriate on that number right quick. Did that blow you away when you opened up the app one day? Because I'm sure it wasn't a surprise, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like it was coming. It was like slow. It was
So
slowly
it's
coming.
growing,
Like,
right?
yeah. I remember the day that it happened. I believe it was November 15th of 2020.
That's insane.
And it's a pretty memorable day that I will never ever forget. But I kept like refreshing my app because the numbers were getting so close. So I was
Uh-huh.
refreshing and refreshing. And then it happened. And I was with a bunch of my friends. I was with my boyfriend and his friends. And like, so we all celebrated together. So it was great.
So when 1 million followers happens, right? You're probably thinking to yourself, I don't have to work right now. Not necessarily that, but it's like, let me focus on, just growing content and making this my sole job. Did that happen at a
Mhm.
million or did that happen before that?
No, I mean, here's the thing. I was working for an online university. I was an admissions representative. So, what
Hmm.
that means is I was helping children, not children, but like college students enroll into classes. I had to do that for about a year. I didn't have a manager, I didn't have a publicist, I didn't have anyone working for me. I was literally just posting content for fun. It was just like something that seemed, I saw other people were doing it like as a living, content creating, but I was like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point because I kind of plateaued for a while. I
Hmm.
plateaued for about 6 months and I wasn't getting much more of a following. But then it wasn't until last summer where I started like switching up my content. I'd made like funnier type of skits, and
Hmm.
I um I gained about 5 million followers in a summer. So I was like, wait, I think it's time. Maybe I should find a manager, try at least try. Like I'll regret it if I don't at least try, like to make this like a living for me. And now I can like proudly say that for the past 8 months that this has been my full-time job.
So are you from the DMV area or no?
I no, I literally just moved here like 4 months ago.
So the whole Johnny Depp trial thing, how did you get sucked into that?
Yeah, so when it was happening, when it was going on, we were just moving in, and
Are
I
you
was
close to Fairfax County?
I'm near the area. I'm about
Okay.
20 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we just moved to like Northern Virginia,
Okay.
and like right outside of DC. And so I've been watching the trial, and like me and my boyfriend were just like, this has got to be crazy. Like, I wonder what it's like down there. And I was like, yeah, I wonder what it's like down there. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go check it out. And so I drove down like close to when the trial was getting out to see if like we saw him driving away. And
Mhm.
that's when I made that video, and it was insanity. Everyone
40
was
million.
nuts.
40 million. That's me, 40 million views. You see that, what are you thinking?
Because that's 40 million on TikTok, and I don't even know how many on Instagram. So, because I also post the video on Instagram as well. So let's see what it is on Instagram as
Can I
well.
tell you, I
But
would be petrified if somebody saw something that I did 40 million times
oh my gosh,
or
I
just 40 million
mean,
people watched it.
Maybe because it's like such a tiny little number that you see in the corner of a screen,
Right,
like it
right.
doesn't shout out to you as much, but like it is it is a pretty insane number. You're right. But it okay, it got nine almost 10 million views on Instagram. So let's say 50
Woo!
million views on that video, which is literally the most amount of views I've ever gotten on a video. But it was like, I mean, I've always been a huge Johnny Depp fan. I've literally watched him since I was a child. I mean, and seeing him in person was like insane because he's a big guy. He's a pretty big guy, you know. Like I guess you wouldn't get that from like his movies and stuff, but but he's got that swagger. He's got that like calm, cool, collected, vibe to him, and he was just letting people throw at him. Like it was insane. Like, do you remember the treasure chest in that video? That woman,
No,
that
she
a
threw a
woman.
treasure chest.
There was a woman who threw a treasure chest through his window, and he just took it.
It's so funny because I
Yeah,
felt like that trial was just like a big old cluster.
it was. So after the video went viral, it went
Mhm.
viral pretty quickly because that was the biggest thing on the internet. And
Right.
so after the video went viral, 2 days later, I decided that I wanted to go sit in on the trial because it was a public trial.
Hmm.
And some people didn't know that, but I was talking to some of the people there whenever I took the video, the first video, and they were like, "Yeah, like I took some of these people took a month off of work just to drive to DC and witness the trial, see Johnny Depp leave the courthouse a month off of work. It was insane." So he was like, "Yeah, just come early in the morning and stand in line and
Or
get
it
into
gets
the
filled
courthouse."
full. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got there on like a Thursday morning. It was when Amber was testifying.
And she's looking at
And
the jury, and then they're thinking that she's
yes.
doing like drugs as she's
Mhm. Yes.
skis and
I,
whatnot.
I was actually the day that happened. I was there that day that she did the little
Yeah, it's so
suggestive
funny
thing.
how it when you watch the video, it really that's interesting.
It is because it looks so real.
Mhm.
And we can talk about this now because the trial's over, but like it was just so obvious she was lying. So obvious, like everyone around just could
It
feel it.
was
The
right.
energy was
I think it was the way how she was literally talking to the jury, and like it looked really staged and coached, if that makes sense.
what it was 100%. Yeah. And as an actor, as someone who's been acting for 20 years, like I can definitely tell if someone's or not for
Yeah,
sure. But
especially bad acting.
Yes. And so the day that I went to sit in, I got there at 2 in the morning to wait in line outside. And because I just felt like that was going to be my best shot. They only let 100 people in to the courthouse, only 100. And there were probably at least 300 or 400 people waiting in line.
Jesus.
It was awful. And I like sat on this cold concrete for like 7 hours, and I couldn't let myself fall asleep because I didn't know anyone there. I went alone. Like
Mhm.
I didn't have any family or friends here that could come with me. So I I waited, and then whenever I went in, it was crazy seeing like Johnny walk in and then Amber walk in, and like the tension was just like, ooh, you could cut it with a knife. It was like,
It's so
this
funny because I feel like I would get secondhand embarrassment.
it was pretty embarrassing for her as she just continued to ramble and mumble and
Uh-huh.
everything. But it it is wrong what they like both did because they both are guilty of lots of really bad things that they've done to each other. Like for people to be completely 100% like praising Johnny and like saying he did nothing wrong, like he did do things that were wrong, but like for the sake of the trial, like he proved what he needed to prove, and she wasn't able to get that out of him. So
Right.
I think they both have a lot to learn, because it's that type of abusive, scary physical, relationship, that shouldn't be happening. It's sad.
Absolutely. Jess, let us know, what are you working on next?
Yeah, so I'm actually heading to Orlando in 2 days to go to Playlist Live, which is
Nice.
like a convention like full of, content creators, TikTokers, YouTubers. I'm gonna be there all weekend long. And yeah, that's in Orlando. And then after that, the following weekend, I'm going to New York Fashion Week, which I'm
Nice.
very excited about. Yeah.
It looks like you are basically stacked up for the fall.
So far, find some wood. Knock on wood.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I am pretty booked for the month of September, I must say. I've been traveling so much. All summer I was actually doing a season of musicals in Pittsburgh. So it was always my dream to work at this specific company. It's called the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera.
Mhm.
And I was able to do 3 shows there. And so I was like, I have to kind of like put my social media life on hold because I need this like dream of mine to come true. So I did my shows and it was the best summer ever. And now I'm strongly, going back into the influencer work and, traveling, doing all these really cool things. So I'm very happy with where I am.
Let me tell you, I am super excited for you. I feel like you have great energy, and I cannot wait to see what pops off next for Jess. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I mean, like I having like such a strong support system, like some people would be like, I mean, in the beginning, when I first started doing this, people were like, just go, you're not going to be a content creator as like a living. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? That's not a thing. Like there were, because when we all started getting into TikTok, it was like, TikTok was still like a up and coming thing that wasn't really like, it wasn't like YouTube, like how there are YouTubers who like that's their living. Like it is crazy now that 2 years later, this is something that people do for a living. And I'm glad that now I have a very strong support system and you're very kind and you're super awesome. And I really appreciate your, good energy.
I feel it. I can feel it all the way across the country. So thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so awesome.